Hello, rockers and Mercuryans. Is Rock Mercury here? Welcome to the Rock Mercury podcast. I have some breakfast this morning. I'm having a little vegan bacon, eggs, and toast. I don't know why. Something about the classic American breakfast I just get attached to. There's a little bit of strawberry preserve on here. Some vegan bacon, really toasty vegan bacon from the what brand is this? Sweet Earth brand, I think it's Sweet Earth. And some tofu egg my sister made with some chickpea flour and some just egg as well. So yeah, thank you Sarosh for saying have a good meal. Thank you. So I wanted to come on here and eat this and chat with you guys, and I'll put it down with a little shot right here, shot of life. I'm gonna put some hot sauce on my eggs. I already know I want some hot sauce on these eggs, but I want to chat with you guys about a few things that I feel are just like on my head right now. One of them is the situation with Kanye. You know, I gotta keep you guys updated on what I feel with the Kanye situation. And recently, what Adidas said about continuing to produce the Yeezy shoes without the Yeezy branding, and they're gonna put their own branding on it, basically stealing intellectual property from Kanye. Interesting stuff that we're gonna talk deeper into that, and I also want to talk about Candace Owens saying that Taylor Swift and Beyonce's albums were, not good music and subpar. I'm very interested in diving deeper into that. I don't really agree with the Beyonce part. Taylor Swift, I always thought her music was subpar, but I want to go into that too. But let's eat this first. We'll put the egg. These eggs are great, and they'll be even better with like onions and bell peppers and stuff in there. But they do taste like eggs. It's so crazy, but it's vegan. It's just Dave's bread toast. And the vegan bacon. That's a great flavor to it. Like, it gives you not like exactly bacon, but it gives you like a different kind of savory, smoky kind of feeling to it. So I'm here for it. Now let's start off with what I really want to talk about first, which is the situation with Adidas. I think it is so disturbing that they can publicly say that they're going to just steal his intellectual property, that they're going to continue making those products, which I'm sure it was probably in the contract, but it just shows really what's going on, what does canceling really mean. It's not that they're canceling him because of some anti-Semitism or whatever. It's not that. They've been ready to part ways with him for a while. They just all jumped on the bandwagon for something that the whole world accepts. Like, oh, you can't be anti-Semitic. You can't say this. Like, and they just throw anti-Semitism on somebody who literally said that he wasn't being that. It's bizarre. It's crazy how we're just gonna all sit back and let this happen. And be like, oh, well, Kanye, he's just always a loudmouth. I don't agree with what he said. Da, da, da. I even saw one video today that combined a whole bunch of out of context clips of Kanye speaking different things about the Star of David community. I'm gonna call them that, the Israelites, or whatever. I'm gonna call them that because it's apparently illegal to say the word. Like, I banned on TikTok for just speaking the word itself of what they call themselves, as if it's explicit or something. I'm like, I never knew that was an explicit word. Are you serious? But if you ever say it and have questions about it, you get attacked. This hot sauce is amazing, y'all. Melinda's. So good. I'm gonna sip on this shot too. I just find it all quite disturbing. It's like, how is this happening? How are we not seeing this? Like, it makes you feel like you're awake in a sleeping world. Like, everybody just letting this happen again and again. The same pattern. I watched this video by Tech Lead, who is a really great YouTuber. He's also on Instagram too, but he's mainly on YouTube. And he had a video called Why Kanye is Right. And he explains how much of the industry really is ran by a certain community. And if you go against that community, you get automatically labeled an anti-Semite. He literally shows it. He shows all the runners of all the top corporations, the top networks, NBC, DreamWorks, Fox, Disney, and you see that it's all ran by the same community, who's very much like insulated. You have to be part of them to be with them. And he posed a question, is that ethical? I personally think if you're in public office, you shouldn't be a part of any religion, because it automatically deters you from logical thinking. Your basis of thinking is angled towards what you believe. Like your policies, everything, whatever you believe is going to be your main framework for what you think or how you act within public office. So when he showed this overwhelmingly ran community, like this community is running everything, and you see the way that they shut down everything they shut down for him, his whole world. They're trying to publicly humiliate him, even having his own baby mama, his own ex-wife, speaking against him over the situation, confirming that she felt like what he said was anti-Semitic, which it wasn't. It really wasn't. Exposing the truth isn't anti-Semitic. Sharing your opinion and your experience, that's not anti-Semitic, especially when you're sharing something that other people really agree with. They're like, they resonate, they see it happening, they see the truth of what's going on. So I find this whole situation very disturbing, because I think that the bigger picture is that they're afraid about him running for office in 2024. I don't even care about the office of any politics. I think it's too corrupt already. But even without social media, Donald Trump is still running, or making moves towards running, and he still has a following. So I'm wondering what's next for Kanye. I wonder if they're gonna try to shut his website down, or I know he's buying Parler, the Parler app. Right now, I am on the Parler app. I bought it. I downloaded it right when he said he's gonna purchase it, or the publicly released that he was. Which now I don't know if he can afford it. So I don't know how much it costs. It's not public how much Parler's worth. You know what? I probably should look that up. It needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of overhauling, because there's not that much like natural organic traffic on there. It's been attacked ever since it was associated with Trump and the January attacks or whatever on the Capitol. ever since it was associated with that, it like has been publicly attacked by the tech world and silenced. And so I post every day on there, and I only advertised it once on my Instagram, and I only have 1 follower on Parler, even though I post every day multiple times. So that's to show you kind of like it's gonna need to grow to more traffic. And I have 10,000 followers on Instagram. I have like 3,200 on TikTok. I have thousands other places too. But for some reason, when it comes to this Parler app, like people aren't downloading it. It doesn't have as much traffic, and it's because of the campaign against it. I do believe that. I'm looking right now to find out how much this app worth. How much is Parler worth? Ye wants to. Parler claimed to be worth nearly $1 billion last year. Interesting. It says Parler, the platform filed a lawsuit against Amazon. Let me see what it says on here. Against Amazon for the termination of its cloud services in 2021. Legal documents for that lawsuit of the company said it had over 12 million users and a valuation approaching $1 billion. Now they're trying to publicly say that Kanye's not even worth $1 billion anymore after the Adidas contract has terminated. Oh no, y'all. I feel like because he knows the owners, because of his influence, there may be some kind of other deal on the table. Maybe some other people join with them to buy it. Currently, EA's worth, well, before this situation happened, was worth at $2 billion recently. Though some of his lucrative brand partnerships are drying up, he no longer works with Gap, JP Morgan Chase, or Adidas as reviewing their business. This is before they cut their situation off. Which is all based on marketrealist.com. Which, who knows how accurate this is. A lot of these websites claim to be super accurate, speaking facts. But in reality, they just look like they're like that, but they're not really speaking really truth, you know? It depends. It really depends. Well, I find it all really bizarre. That he would even have to have another app to be able to speak to people, and with an app worth $2 billion, or $1 billion, they're saying, the authentic traffic isn't really happening there. Will people move over to Parler and make it one of the main social media platforms? Social media is power. And one thing I have noticed going through this situation and watching not only Kanye, but Azealia Banks be deplatformed, who's a fellow genius. Well, I don't even know how that happened. That's what I give a talk on my hands. Azealia Banks got deplatformed from Instagram and Twitter. And when you don't have these platforms, how do you connect with your people? Music's not enough anymore. An email list. You think an email list is going to be the thing that like connects these artists with their fan bases? Social media is the public square. Social media is where this communication happens the most, is where we're even reporting on in the news. So when you get these platforms, you get really silenced in the new tech world. It almost should be like something that goes in court. It's not something that these apps should be able to just take you off because it's that public. Like, this is where the conversations are happening. Hello, hello. This is where the conversations are going on. And so, if these tech giants are able to just block people whenever they want to, that's like kicking somebody out of a public restaurant or a public town square and saying, we don't like your opinion, get out of here, you're banished. Because how else are these people going to reach their fan base? Tay for Fate says, you make everything look so good. Good morning. Good morning to you, Tay. Thank you so much. I'm just having some breakfast and talking about some topics like Kanye and some Beyonce topics later on too. But the power of social media. Every company is involved on social media. Any company that's doing anything of importance, they're all involved actively on social media. Even if they have a low social media presence, they're still on there. They know the importance. You know, billboards aren't communicative. You know, you pay all this money for a billboard, you can't communicate with it and see the response or create a movement out of it. Can't do that with a commercial. Social media is it. And I just went to Azealia Banks' page, GPXO, because I was curious if she's now talking about, she's now discussing things on her own website, like she should. You know, she's got to start moving stuff to her own website now that she's been deplatformed from Instagram. For a moment, they brought her back. And she said, like, she made a post saying, y'all really thought I got deleted or something, but then they deleted her again. And so we can't watch these things happen and be like, oh, it's fine, like, they just can't be on social media, like, they made a mistake. These social medias are you know, privately owned, but they're not privately owned when they're so involved with the government, when they're so in bed with government policies. When Facebook has been proven to have a huge part of even why Trump got in office, if voting mattered. But there was that much of an influence from social media, even old Facebook, to adjust the amount of votes that were received and the amount of swing voters to to turn an election around. That's how powerful social media is. So how are we okay when they just decide, like, we decided you broke our terms and conditions? This hasn't gone to court. This isn't something that has anybody over them, over their governing them. But yet they're in bed with the government, but they're not being governed. They're just being used as a pawn. You know? A pawn for control. So it's like, are being forced to be silenced. Because what else will you do? Will you go stand on a billboard, on a boardwalk somewhere and yell at people and say, they're lying to you, this is the real truth, da 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 da. Nobody's gonna care. Not one person's gonna be like, okay, whatever. Nobody cares. If they're lying to you, if they're doing it, nobody cares. Like, they're not gonna say, like, if you're on the street, they're just gonna think you're crazy. If you're online and you say it in a certain way, it might go viral. And a movement may happen. Your voice can be heard. That's where people are. People aren't listening to people on the street. So, I feel like people should be able to sue these social media platforms for unrightfully silencing them. Well, they make the argument that there's other social media platforms you can choose to be here or not. Follow our rules or go away. That's the main argument they have. And with the current structure, that makes sense. Because there is so many. There's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's TikTok, Facebook. What else are there? Snapchat. Bigo. Hilarious. I don't know why I haven't said Bigo. Some of these apps are trying to fool people by having bots on there. Even the biggest apps have so many bots to make you feel like you're reaching more people than you are. While behind the scenes, these same companies only push the creators with the message that they want to push. You know? They only push certain messages that they endorse. But they make it seem as if everybody's getting a fair chance. You all are, you know, saying what you have to say, saying your truth, sharing your creativity, sharing your lunch. With the world. But it's not true. It's just not true. Like, it's fake numbers, it's fake bots. So, it's all in the effort to keep you on there, keep your attention on there, keep you on the public forum so they can send you whatever the propaganda they want. Under the guise of them being a privately owned company. How does that work? How could that be logical? You know? Like, how can they think we're just gonna sit by and watch these public hangings, basically? Kanye West is going through a public hanging right now. Everybody's separating from him. Everybody's canceling him, shutting his voice down. Media is all that matters. How is he going to sell his products? Is he going to go pay these social media platforms to post that he has a new product coming out? He could do that, but then again, it's still using social media. What if they make it illegal to even discuss him? What if this conversation here becomes illegal, like it did on TikTok? I discussed his situation with the community that he was accused of anti-Semitism for, and they blocked my live. They suspended me for a whole week over discussing it. Not one curse word, not one threat, not one violent thing was said on that. For simply discussing it. I was reprimanded. My money was affected. My reach, my audience reaching out to me like, where are you? We miss you. Where are you? You know, these platforms decide what they believe. it's acceptable or not. I completely stopped cursing on all of my lives because I knew that I wanted to be very clear about why they were silencing me. I don't want them standing behind, oh, offensive language. Well, I'm not cursing anymore. Now I'm just sharing my thoughts very carefully. It's still shutting me down constantly. Even right now, the only reason I'm on Instagram instead of TikTok right now, because I was shut down for responding to some trolls that came on my page. I responded to their comments instead of blocking them like I usually do. And they mass reported me. Got me blocked for a few days. For hate speech. For bullying. I'm like, what are you talking about? I never bully anyone on there. They're deciding what that is. And they reviewed it. I did an appeal and everything. They reviewed it and decided that the trolls were right. Rock Mercury, you're being a bully, as I'm getting bullied and called terrible names by people on their own app. Those people were fine. They get to keep their profile. You know, I can't help but think it's because I'm black. You know, and this app has been openly racist. But then also there's other people who have been banned on there too, but I think it's disproportionately a black, like a darker skin tone thing. But I believe that they're attacking us more on there because they publicly humiliate us. In China, the country that TikTok is owned by, they publicly think that black people are lower than, which is so disturbing. In the commercial, they show it. They put a black man in a washer, and it comes out as like a clean, fresh, light-skinned Asian man, and it's like, oh, look, it's so clean, such a good washer, wash all the dirt off of you. How disturbing is that? But it's happening. It's been happening. That's on a regular commercial. It's on their regular TV. So, it's insane. I see here that there's a forum. Azalea Banks has a forum on her page. Azalea Banks discuss all things Azalea Banks. Post any questions and reviews about SheepyXO products. Introduce yourself. Support. All these kind of things. She needs to promote this more. Because we're going to have to go to our own pages. And the crazy part is, even when you build your own page, the domain host can decide to cancel your domain access, to take your website hosting service. They can decide that they don't want to host your site anymore. So even when you have your own website, you can run into a different issue unless you have your own host. And this is one of the most popular artists in the world, Azalea Banks. And she doesn't even have that many posts going on here. She does not have that many things going on. This is April 30th. Somebody posted. They're hoping that she goes back to podcasting. That's a long time ago. That's the last post. April 30th. Like, it's one of the most famous artists. Like, that shows you the power of social media. The people are on there already. They're not going to websites like that. Like, you still, I think it's important to have a website, but they're not going there as often. Because the community based, the public square is now digital. I'm not talking about VR, virtual reality. Virtual reality is digital world. I'm gonna look at Kanye's website now. It even has the website. Kanye website. KanyeWest.com. Owner and data controller Yeezy. Enter your email for Yeezy shades. Join the wait list. All it has is a picture of the Yeezy shades, which honestly I'm not the biggest fan of these shades. They're a little too big. Look like a bug to me. They're not ugly. They're just not for me. I don't like that they wrap around the back of your head either. But this is what he's doing now. This is his venture, but nothing else is on here. Only a picture and an email, a slot under it where you type your email in and join the wait list. Nothing else is on the website for Kanye. How can his community connect on this? How? They built him up to tear him down. How will he connect and share his message? At some point, anybody who even interviews him is going to be attacked. Poor Candace Owens is already getting like bombarded. Getting absolutely bombarded by threats against her for even knowing Kanye. On the YeezySupply.com, nothing's on there. It's a blank page. Somehow Kanye gave so many shirts to the homeless people in downtown LA, and yet not one of them is on eBay. I can't find anything on eBay. People pay top dollar for those shirts. I can't find that online. Now you know good and dang well that those homeless people were selling those shirts when they got them. You can get $300, $500, $1,000. Like people don't care about a shirt like that. They're gonna sell that shirt. They don't need a shirt that easy. There's plenty of clothes that are being given away in downtown LA. I'm from LA. Like they don't need a shirt for warmth. If they know that shirt's worth that much amount of money, then they're gonna try to sell it. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because why isn't any of them available on eBay? When you go to eBay, you cannot find not one shirt. Not one. Because it's being blocked. I think it's being blocked. But the crazy part about the situation, the first scandal was that he wore a White Lives Matter shirt. They called him anti-black. Then he says what he says about the Israelites or the Star of David community. They call him anti-Semitic. Aren't those contradicting? And what he said about the Star of David community is that they have so much power. So you're saying that somebody has so much power, but yet now, because of these comments, they're being considered anti-Semitic and they're getting everything shut down, every single deal shut down. How does that work? How exactly how does that fly? You know, I'm very curious about that. I'm very curious about how this is supposed to fly. I think Kanye sacrificing his career is his ultimate Yeezus moment. Being stoned and publicly crucified by the media. This is his ultimate sacrifice. This is it. I think it's masterful. I think that he got out of his contract. He finessed his way out of the contracts that he did not want to be a part of. These people weren't working teamwork with him. They were using him, and they proved it by saying they're going to be releasing his same designs that he created without him. They're going to put their label on it and release those same designs. That's insanity. It's crazy. And not pay him for any of it. I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't see it, it's because you don't want to see it at this point. But everything that Kanye said has been proven correct by this situation. I love watching the people attack him because then I can just realize who's ignorant. Willingly ignorant. Blissfully ignorant. I see a message from Amber Rose. Oh, it's gone. Amber Rose on Twitter. Kanye's over. ShopKanyeWest.com. Well, lost. It said Yeezy Supplied. Oh, the site called Yeezy Supplied. Yeah, I tried that one too. It's blank. It's a blank site. Completely blank. We're going to stay tuned to this. We're going to stay tuned to all that's going on. Because this is some craziness right here. This is disturbing. But I'm intrigued. Alright. Rockers and Mercuryans. I'm out of here. I'm going to go to shopping a little bit more to get some undershirts because it's getting colder out here, and I want to wear undershirts under my sweaters. So I'm gonna go get some more of those so that I'll be ready for the winter. Winter's coming. Instead, it might even snow in New York and Houston at some point. Also, when it comes to Candace Owens saying that Taylor Swift's music and Beyonce's new albums are, you know, objectively not good, based on the reviews and everything, and like what she feels about the actual albums themselves, I agree with the Taylor Swift part. The Beyonce part, I am very biased because I live for Beyonce. I think the album's good. I listen to it all the time. Is there an agenda for it? Is there like a LGBT agenda for this album, which is what she's claiming, Candace Owens is claiming, which makes it not as like pure or as good as it used to be? There might be some truth to that. There may be some truth about there being a little bit of a LGBTQ message in that album that, you know, may have been intended or whatever. But I like the album. Does it have a message to it, like a story? I mean, not as much as her last albums. I feel like her last albums did tell more of a story. This is more of a party dance album. But the Taylor Swift album, I haven't even heard it, and I'm already over it. I've been over Taylor for a long time. So, I think she's a snake. But I do think artists are making bad music. I think that's what she did say. Like, that a lot of artists are just making very mediocre music. And maybe that's why I think that Beyonce's album is so good, because it's better than its mediocrity. But is it at Beyonce level? Like, Beyonce came out here just slaying it out, giving us everything. And now the whole industry has kind of plateaued into this level of mediocrity that it's kind of like, okay, well, yeah, it's better than theirs, but is it good? You know? So I'm not the right person to ask about Beyonce, but I will say about Taylor Swift, yeah, I'm sure it's terrible. I'm sure that it's this whole vibe of, you know, I'm bad. I'm just such a bad person. I'm going through. I'm so depressed. I'm so this, but I don't know my identity. I guess all this kind of pandering to people's depression and this mental struggles that they're going through. It doesn't seem very authentic, but Taylor's not that authentic, so I don't know. I mean, I stand by that Beyonce's album is amazing. I love it. I think it's a great album. I bought all the shirts. I listen to it all the time, and I don't just like say I like it. I really do listen. So I will say my favorite song is "All Up in Your Mind." I like the first song, "I'm That Girl," and I skip through some songs, but not like all. I listen to them, I like them, but I do skip through some of the other albums. I would never skip through anything, so I will say that. But we all have our favorites, so I'm excited for the next part of the album, and I'm excited for the visuals. The visuals look amazing, from what I've seen, from the preview that she released. So we'll see what happens. But thank you, Rockers and Mercuryans, for joining me today. I'll be posting these videos like today. So hope you have a great day, rest of your day. And rock on. See you soon. Stand up for Kanye, because freedom of speech, even if you don't agree with them, freedom of speech is a dying breed at this point. So I gotta get my album out right away before they start making you have to like get approval for what you say in your albums, which could happen too. Like, a lot of things can happen with this slippery slope that we're going down right now. So, all right, thank you, Rockers and Mercuryans. Goodbye.